So if you've ordered a package to your home in probably the last few years at any point, but there's a very high probability that a photo of your front door, also your exact home address, and the name listed on your driver's license, well, it's just sitting out there completely unencrypted on the open internet right now. So in the spring of this year, one of the largest delivery related data exposures in history was discovered, sitting wide open on a Microsoft Azure server. So a massive logistical broker called SpeedX, who handles the final delivery miles for various companies like Amazon, I believe TikTok Shop, Temu, all that. Well, they exposed over 840 million personal records. This wasn't just a list of leaked passwords or old email addresses. Nah. This is a complete physical mapping of millions of people's daily routines, including the exact GPS coordinates and high resolution photos of exactly where their packages are dropped off on their own home. So you know that oftentimes that little notification you get on your phone from a delivery driver actually snapping a picture of your package to prove that the box was left on your porch safely. Well, every single one of those pictures is just a geotagged data point, and SpeedX essentially just left the master folder for all of them completely open for anyone in the world to download. But the craziest part about this massive real world leak isn't just that the data was left exposed for anyone to grab. It's just how completely legal it is for data brokers to sweep up this exact physical footprint and then just sell it to the highest bidder behind your back. You might think this just means someone knows what kind of I don't know, packages you buy. But the reality of what someone can do with 840 million photos of people's front doors is the thing that actually, surprised me a lot. So here's the part that should probably get you kinda angry. So this was not a hack. Nobody broke in. Nobody cracked the code. SpeedX, they just left the door open. Pretty much they were using a Microsoft Azure cloud storage bucket, which is just essentially a giant digital filing cabinet where companies pretty much just dump their overflow data. And whoever set it up, well, they just completely forgot to put a password on it. When security researchers stumbled across it, they realized that the database contained live continuously updating records of package deliveries across the entire United States. Every time a driver scanned a box, took a photo, or logged recipient's ID, well, that information was beamed straight into that public folder. We are talking about hundreds of millions of records telling exactly who lives at what address, what their phone number is, and what their front porch looks like. And here's the thing that actually got me when I was looking at this. So because these last mile delivery companies integrate directly with massive e-commerce giants, well, you don't even need to know what SpeedX is to have your data swept up by them. You just click buy now on the app and your physical coordinates are instantly fed to their system. But it does get worse, honestly, because when you actually look at what a bad actor can do with an database of 840 million physical delivery logs, well, you realize that this could lead to physical security threats that nothing on your computer can really protect you from. Okay, so here's why the specific leak is honestly different from every other data breach you have probably ever heard about. So when a normal tech company leaks your data, the worst case scenario is usually that you have to, for example, just change your passwords, I don't know, maybe cancel a credit card or set up I don't know, two-factor authentication on, for example, your email accounts. It's annoying, but it's fixable. But you cannot change your home address. You cannot change the physical layout of your front door. What makes this leak so honestly catastrophic is that it provides a perfect searchable map of physical vulnerabilities. Think about the metadata attached to a package delivery. It logs exactly what time packages are dropped off, and more importantly, it can log what time they are brought inside. So if someone wants to know the exact daily routine of a neighborhood, or just, I don't know, figure out what hours a specific house is empty, well, this database is like a gold mine. Like, essentially tells anyone looking exactly when you are not home. And furthermore, like, the inclusion of driver license scans for like age restricted deliveries means that, like, highly sensitive, like, physical identification documents are tied directly to these GPS coordinates. Like, you are no longer just like, I don't know, an anonymous like IP address on a server somewhere in California. Like, instead you're like a map physical person. And I want you to actually kind of like sit with this for like a second before I keep on going. Because, stalker like identity thieves and also just like organized physical crime rings, well, they pay like millions of dollars on the dark web for like fragmented pieces of this kind of like data. But then this company just accidentally like published the most like comprehensive, like fully assembled version of it for like free. And when the researchers who found like this massive vulnerability just finally like managed to get in contact with the like corporate executive of SpeedX to tell them that their entire customer map just might be like bleeding out onto the public like internet, the response SpeedX gave is like either the most like craziest thing like a company has ever said publicly, or proof that these companies, they just like genuinely do not think they owe you anything at all. So the researchers, they finally get through to SpeedX. They tell them that 840 million files are sitting completely like open on the public internet. And you want to know what SpeedX said back? Well, they said that there was literally like no evidence of malicious activity. Like, this is the oldest trick in like the big tech playbook. I can't even lie. Like, claiming there is quote unquote no evidence that data was downloaded is not like the same thing as guaranteeing the data is safe. It's just a lie of omission. Like, when a database is completely unsecured on the public internet for, I don't know, like weeks, like, there are no access logs, there is no alarm system that rings when someone like downloads a file. Like, they have literally like no evidence of a hack because it wasn't a hack. It was just like an open like buffet. They just weren't keeping track of it. And the terrifying truth is that it is entirely legal for these third-party logistics companies to collect and hoard this massive volume of physical data because you technically agreed to it when you accepted like the shipping terms on the checkout page. Like, the data broker economy, it just relies on these shadow profiles to function. Like, they take your delivery photos, cross-reference them with like your purchasing habits, and just build like a digital twin of your physical life to sell for targeted like advertisements and just risk assessment. But there's one like final, honestly, like permanent like consequence of specific breach that, tech companies, well, they're like scrambling to like cover up right now. And here's the thing: if you live in like a house or apartment, well, you're unfortunately already a part of it. So that includes me. Oh no. So let me tell you the part of this that, nobody in the mainstream like coverage actually talked about, because like the breach itself is pretty bad. But what happened to the data after, well, it's like the crazy part that I think I need to talk about. So right now we are entering an era where like artificial intelligence models and also massive like, spatial mapping systems, well, they are actively like scraping the open web for like training data. Like, when a dataset containing 840 million geotagged photos of like residential properties just like hits the internet, like, it doesn't just, I don't know, like sit in a hard drive. Like, it just gets absorbed into the architecture of the web. Like, it gets used to train AI on what specific like neighborhoods look like, also what like security systems are installed on like, front porches, and also how to verify like human identities based on like physical like locations. Like, your home right now is now a data point in a machine learning model. Like, how fun. Anyway, that's it for this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.